Here in the booth for the final time, last two home games, and you'll have to excuse the voice this weekend. It's a little bit croaky, but we'll soldier through. Which, with the Adelaide Adrenaline in town visiting, we've called on Eric to come up to the booth for the two games this weekend and give us a hand on the commentary. Welcome to Perth, Eric.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pretty good setup over here. It's a beautiful day. Is it the weather always like this in Perth? You know,
yeah, we don't get any rain.
All the hotels by the beach, you know, as well. It's looking pretty good. I'm liking it over here so far.
Yeah, I saw Sammy's photo saying that Sammy's back playing, and it was down at Sorrento Hotel there opposite the marina.
Yeah, that's it. All the boys right on the beach there. It's a good setup. I mean, you get in at about 11:30. It gives everybody a chance to get a good feed before the game. Some of them went for a swim, get pretty relaxed, head down here, and now it's time for business.
Yeah, and nice weather this weekend. Last week, full of rain all week, but the sun's come out for you boys to come over. It's interesting weekend. This weekend in the AIHL, the top four kind of all set, and not really going to make any difference to the standings, but still two big games, and the boys all want to put on a show. So it's a bit of a light Adelaide team this weekend, but obviously gone with their top guys that they feel are going to come over here and get the job done.
Yeah, well, for Adelaide, for us coming over here, it's about bringing the guys that have shown a lot of commitment to the program all year long, and sort of a lot of the guys that we want to really move forward with and look pretty good moving on into the future here. So obviously there's still a couple key people missing, you know, especially a couple of the kids that are either literally at school in Canada or not here, but it'll be good to see how these guys go. It's a short bench, but you know, as a coach, sometimes you sort of get surprised when you have a short bench about how everybody bonds together and plays pretty well.
Yeah, short benches can often work in your favour. You got no guys looking up at you from the bench going, where's my ice time and why aren't I out, and complaining, you know, guys all wanting to play. So with the short bench, it's could go Adelaide's way. I mean, Adelaide took one of the games when Perth come over to Adelaide, so yeah, had a split on the road there.
And that game, Adelaide played very, very well. You know, they did a really good job of shutting down that obviously lethal import line that Perth has going on. And then the second game was again, it was the import lines on both teams crossed each other out, but the big difference was just an unbelievable effort from the second line from Perth. I think Lyndon Lodge had a goal, and, you know, it was a really good effort from the Perth locals, and I think that's probably what I'm going to guess. You as a coach as well, too, that's what you're going to need to rely on in the finals.
Yeah, it's locals make a big difference to your team. Obviously, your imports are your superstars in any team, but your local lines, and they make the big difference to most games that you play. And I see Adelaide's got a lot of young kids coming through, obviously through their programs, been involved a lot through the years and know the names of the McGuinness brothers and obviously Riley and stuff, and young players like that. So obviously doing a good job for Adelaide over there.
Well, they're coming up, and there's still a lot to play for pride. I know that the message in the room was in the same situation last year. Adelaide, again, didn't have much to play for at the end of the year. They were playing Newcastle, who had their matchup set in the finals as well, and they lost 7-0 on a road game on a Saturday and got outshot 55-9, and that was hammered home in the rooms before, saying, you know, there's still a lot to play for late in the thing, and, you know, we've got about 5 or 6 Adrenaline fans that have flown from Adelaide, and you got to put on a show for the people that have supported you all year long. And I'm guessing for Perth, too, they've got their last home games. They're going to want to go out with a bang and put some confidence in everyone going there.
Yeah, there's always that thing with any sport. I suppose, you look at the league ladder, and there was not much in it all season for all the teams, and could have gone either way at the start of the year. But you've got that pride. Your boys want to come out. They don't want to be beaten. They want to maybe put an upset and put some fear into guys going into finals, going, hey, look, we just beat you. It's Perth's got to be on point and kind of cement their position, but Adelaide just nothing to lose, and obviously there's the small bench and the coach back on the ice, so it's going to be an interesting matchup tonight.
So we've got a few dangerous players on Perth, your likes of your Wallettes, your Bros, your Bernies. We know who the dangerous players are in Perth from the guys that put up the big numbers. But I know that Adelaide got burned by a couple locals last time they were there. From your perspective, from the Adelaide perspective, who does Adelaide need to look out for on those Perth local lines?
Local lines, I mean, Geordie Kairos has had a solid season. He's put some numbers up this year. He's got his scoring form back, so I think Geordie Kairos is going to be dangerous. Obviously, Andrew Cox. You can't go past a couple of our defensive men as well, you know, in the Hazelhurst, Woodman, guys like that can skate from end to end. And looking down the list of jerseys there for the Thunder, I see that Fudgy's back, Liam Jeffries is back in the lineup, Jonathan Bremner, all guys that are very capable players. So it's good depth from the local and the Perth underside as well.
And that is great to see here. I think right now we're going to get some awards out here on the ice for your best MVP players or highest scores out there.
I think that's going to happen after the game. I think these guys are just going to be doing a special national anthem, which someone is going to be performing. Oh, no, they are doing the player awards at the start of the year here.
So who's the hot tip here?
Oh,
it's tough to say. I mean, there's a lot of pretty good players, I know.
So I see they got the one of the cameramen out there to hold the trophies. Yeah. Yes. Matt's making his debut out there now. Lyndon Lodge for the most improved local. Yeah, young kid. He went over back to Belgium, where his mum's from, at the end of last season, and had a season in Belgium playing and getting some extra coaching, and it's obviously paid off.
And one of the guys up for Rookie of the Year as well in the AIHL this year too.
Yes.
So good for him. He's put on a great year.
Best defenseman per Daniel Goranson. No surprise there. Swede, played pro, had about 7 years off, and then came back through. Actually came through doing some office work with the Thunder while learning the sports management, and then we convinced him to lace up the skates, and turns out he could play. Australian player.
So Goranson now, he does have his Australian citizenship, right? Will he be one of the guys going over in the Australia-New Zealand challenge coming up?
Is he one of the names going out? I'd hope he'd be looked at for the Oz team.
I know on Adelaide side, Zach Boyle and Joey Rezick are off.
Yep. So I think this is our... This is a volunteer award for Colleen, who's taken over from Joan Smale. So she's works out all the volunteers, which, as you would know, these clubs don't run without them.
And that is the thing that makes this league so special, is just how much effort the volunteers put into it. I know a lot of the volunteers that are at every Adelaide game are listening right now, and they're the ones that make these game day atmospheres. And it's a special one here in Perth as well, too. And I know they're the same in Adelaide. Without them, you do not have this league. And that is what's so cool about this league. Oh,
it's brilliant. And the players, everybody's approachable. The players are approachable. Club management. And it's just, and this is my niece.
There you go.
Now it's her birthday today, so she's doing the puck drop today. So that's pretty cool.
Future player in the AWIHL, baby.
She's loving it. So again, my sister-in-law runs the merchandise now for Joan. My brother's the DJ. so it's a family event.
So captains Jamie Woodman and David Huxley taking the drop there as we'll pause for the national anthem.
Yep. And it's Matt.
Stage advance Australia fair in joyful strength, and let us sing advance Australia fair.
So there we have it, hidden talent from one of the guys that runs all our cameras and gets all this live feed up and running. Every week in, I normally press the other button up here and I'm talking to Matt and the other Matt in the truck, and just turns out he can sing. Ryan in the truck, sorry.
Excellent effort out there. I love it. Now, I mean, you got to here's some breaking news for everybody in Perth here. So our anthem singer in Adelaide, Kat Dobo, puts on a great show before every game, moved to Perth on Friday.
Oh, did she?
Great volunteer. She'll work a bar. She'll help set up the game. I think we got to get you guys her number.
Yeah, I think we should.
And that might be her winning the award next year.
She could, she could be singing the national anthem. So I think we might invest in a new red carpet, because we get this every week as well, with the referees picking up all the red carpet remnants.
So not long till game time now, Dave. What kind of effort are you expecting from the Perth Thunder out there today?
You'd expect nothing short of 100% from the Thunder. You think they're going to come out and try and stamp some authority on this game early. So I think Adelaide are just going to have to be ready, because I don't think the Thunder are going to hold back anything. But in saying that, Adelaide look like they're ready to play. I was watching Rezic come out the room, and they turned up with some fire in their eyes tonight. So I think it's going to be an exciting start to this game.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think the early goings are always going to be the big test, and you can really usually tell what sort of Adelaide team that shows up pretty early on in the games. They've let some games get away in those first few minutes pretty early on, and sometimes they just take it to them. When they played Perth in Adelaide a couple weeks ago, Adelaide scored 2 goals in the first 4 minutes and was up 2-0 and had Perth on the back heel. And when Adelaide was driving the game forward, that's when they play their best. If they're not doing that and they're going to be chasing the game, they're going to be a lot of trouble.
Oh, they will be, and it looks like we've got Critchlow, Rezic and Boyle lining up against Bernard, Orlet, and Bro here.
Zach Boyle on the top line. Normally
Zach
a
Boyle,
defenseman getting up there and playing some forward just due to the numbers on the road.
And it looks like the defensemen for Adelaide are McNeil and Gerbert, and Hazelhurst and Goranson on the back end for the Thunder. One's won by Adelaide, chipped forward to Rezic. Rezic's coming around, he's centre passing, and just short of the stick there of Critchlow, but kept in on the point by Adelaide. Battled down low. Rezic comes out, chips up to the point to Gerbert. Gerbert cross ice feed, just short there of Rezic's stick in the slot, and then picked up by Thunder behind the net. Hazelhurst comes up the half wall, long pass to Bernard, and that was going to be icing, but King come out to play, so kept in deep there in the Adelaide zone by Bernard. They cycle around the back, Bernard behind the Adelaide net. Chips to Goranson on the circle. Goranson across to Hazelhurst. Hazelhurst shot just wide of the net, back to Goranson. Hazelhurst round the circle, shoots, and just wide of the net again. Peter King for the adrenaline in net, keeping that just wide, not giving Hazelhurst any options there. And just can't quite see who's on that left side there. Hazelhurst gets the feedback from Orlet, and then takes it deep behind the Adelaide net. Bro goes high to Hazelhurst on the point. And that shot put in, tipped, but saved by Peter King there from the Adelaide adrenaline. And then it looks like Adelaide comes the other way, and that's just chipped forward, but out of the reach there of Oddie. And Woodman chips that up to, can't quite see the numbers here down on the boards there for Thunder. Bernard's still out, and that's up to Tobin. Tobin chips that deep, Lodge down to get it. And it looks like he's battling there with Huxley. And then that's Simon Kudler comes out with it, back down to Lyndon Lodge behind the Adelaide net. Lyndon Lodge centering feed there to Tomic Sack, is it? For the Thunder.
And it was this line of Lodge, Tobin, and Sack that were unbelievable in Adelaide. They created a lot off the forecheck, a lot of body in front of the net, and they created a lot of opportunities that way. Just hard-working line, hard-working kids.
Yeah, they're just playing for the love of the game here. You got the two Kudler twins out on the ice to this one, and that's taken off there by Adelaide. And I think that's didn't quite
Paul
see
McMillan.
McGillen was down there. His centering feed there, but that's just off the stick of Woodman. Picked up there by Oddie on the half wall. He puts it back up, back down to Oddie. He's battling there with Kudler on the half wall, and then put in behind the net. Picked up by Critchlow for Adelaide. Critchlow stick handling, keeps it in. Round two Thunder players there. And then centering feed, no one there for the adrenaline to pick that up, but kept in by Gilbert there. So keeping it in low there behind the Thunder net. Critchlow battling hard against Kudler. And both Kudlers battling Critchlow and Oddie. And Critchlow out in front, just couldn't quite get that backhand off onto the stick of Woodman. And then Lyndon Lodge manages to just get over the Thunder blue line and puts it deep back into the Adelaide zone while he goes for a change. Peter King will settle that down behind the Adelaide net. While Geordie Kairos is hard in there on the forecheck to keep that in.
Really quick start here in Perth. We're over 3.5 minutes in the game, and we still haven't had a whistle.
No, it's that can get tiring as well. Adelaide, I think this is...
short bench that plays into Perth's favor as Perth has it behind their own goal.
Yep. Boyle coming down there, centering that pass for Adelaide, and then it's just chipped out. No icing there, apparently. So, picked up by Boyle again. Adelaide is playing really well here, young Boyle. Pushes up to Oddie. Oddie chips to Rezic. Rezic over the Thunder blue line. Rezic centers. Looks for the pass, just out the reach there of Huxley, is it? There, 23, Huxley. And then chipped out over the Thunder blue line and then put back in by McNeil. But Adelaide going for the change. Al Punler for the Thunder picks it up, passes to Bernard, back to Punler. Punler gets the centre and then puts it deep into the Adelaide zone. Christian Olet's hard in on the forecheck. And Ben Bro comes off that point with a shot. That's his dangerous spot there. Ben Bro just off that side, high circle. And then Critchlow coming in for Adelaide. Tries to deke around Hazelhurst, but Hazelhurst takes that, chips up to Ben Bro. Ben Bro over the Thunder blue line, drops to Christian Olet. Centering to Bernard, and Bernard just couldn't quite handle that. And Peter King forcing him wide. And then it looks like the net's off. So we'll get our first whistle of the period. So
yeah, with 10-17 to go in the first period. So we're playing almost 5 minutes so far in this first one. Lots to dissect in that opening one. Both teams actually playing pretty well, pretty structured. Couple chances both ways. Early on, you're seeing what sort of threat Joseph Rezic is for Adelaide. He had a couple sharp angle shots. Probably the only guy on Adelaide that can literally score from anywhere on the ice. I know Perth has a few of those guys, but Adelaide's going to need Rezic to do something today.
It was good to see their lines working for Adelaide well. Boyle, Rezic and Critchlow working really well. And as Adelaide win that, just back inside the Thunder zone there is Woodman. Well, it would have been Ising, but takes the shot on Peter King, and Jonathan Bremner forcing the face-off there. So it looks like the Thunder will get a change here.
So Pete King in net for the Adelaide Adrenaline. He's one of those goalies that can either steal you a game or sometimes can make that little mistake that might be able to cost you a game sometimes. He's made some spectacular saves, and he had an unbelievable 45-save game last week, and that's why he's getting the start today in Perth.
Oh, excellent. Oh, Woodman shot there with traffic, but King coming up well for Adelaide then, and that's chipped up out of the half wall, and Adelaide still with it here. Looks like Critchlow. Critchlow still with it, passes to Oddie. Oddie cycles it back. Chip to... Oh, and that looks like it's going for icing there off of number 5 for the Adelaide. I'll get you to pronounce that one, Eric.
Who do we got? Casey Babineau?
Babineau.
Yeah, Casey Babineau. Yeah, import player. So 2 import defensemen for Adelaide today. Casey Babineau and Morgan McNeil. Casey Babineau, sort of that rugged, hard-working defenseman, throws the body around. Morgan McNeil's very similar. He's a chippy player. He's probably the biggest chirper out there, so I'm sure Perth will hear from him a little bit during the game.
That's face-off is won by the Thunder with a couple of shots there on the net. Geordie Kairos picking that up to the point. Campbell trying to keep that in and just not quite there as McMillan for the Adelaide, and it looks like it was offside there as the Thunder tried to enter the zone.
Few minutes of play here now in the Adelaide zone here as they're being pressed back a little bit. I know that even if you take a look at it, I know players will say they always don't look at this, but they are. You know, you've got a big points race at the top of it. Ben Bro just 2 points off the lead going into it. I think even for these guys, it's a nice touch if they could add the points to it, especially in a game that has no real bearing in the standings. Yeah, they have to try and do something, and I think a lot of the Thunder players are using it to try and get some form for the finals. And you have to. Yeah. And that's chipped up by Boyle to Rezic, just inside the Thunder zone. Rezic cross ice to Critchlow, and that's just put in the feet of and a nice shot there from Captain Oddie on the point there, and into the glove of DeSalvo. Adelaide, a good setup there on that one. Carried in by Rezic, cross ice to Critchlow, up to Oddie, and that nice shot from Oddie from the point. Oddie's been a solid player for Adelaide for many years. He has, and he's changed his game a little bit this year, too. I mean, he used to be sort of that player from all accounts that, and you would have seen him as well, that could really burst up the ice and speed by everybody as Adelaide takes us off the draw. And Perth going to go the other way. But, yeah, Greg Oddie reformed his game a little bit here. He's actually back-checking a lot more physical than we've seen him in the later parts of the stages than the beginning stages. Yeah, and Perth Thunder coming the other way there with a shot from, I think it was Ben Bro, and King just making the save on that easy from that angle. So, lots and lots of end-to-end action here from both teams. Both teams getting some solid chances. Still 0-0 in the first period here. And I think we've played... About 9 minutes to go in the game. 9 minutes to go in the game. First period, yeah. You'll see it is a bit hard to see the scoreboard and the time from our viewpoint. I'm learning. Adds to the drama. It does, yeah. Now one's won by Thunder. Centering pass there to Ben Bro. Taken off by Oddie. And you see Oddie's coming up the ice here. Gets the centering pass. Battered down by Peter DeSalvo and then picked up by Olet behind the Thunder net. Olet skating up the ice.
Get some speed here. Let into the Adelaide zone. Drops to Bernard. Bernard gets that puck taken off him by Oddie. And then a big hit by Bernard on Oddie. And it looks like there's a high stick or a puck into the face of Bro. And Bro's down on the ice. He's not getting up in a hurry. So that's not good to see as he's going on the bench.
So as a coach, what's your balance there? Ben Bro looks okay, by the way, for all those listening at home still. He just sort of slow to get up. But you know you have finals. This is, in fact, a meaningless game. You have guys like Ben Bro you need next week. You don't want anybody to get injured. I remember 2 years ago in Adelaide on the last one, I believe it was the import goalie that got hurt during that game, and that had some effect at the end of the year.
It's a very hard call because I know being around the players, they want to play. They don't want to sit down.
Yeah.
They want to keep going, you know. And it's hockey. Things do happen, but it's a hard call. You kind of, as a coach, you watch the game. If it's getting a bit chippy, a bit dirty, you kind of sit your imports. You don't let them get involved in it because you know a lot of them want to. And they'll
jump in it, and you don't want a two-game suspension going to the finals.
No, especially in the last, as you say, meaningless games of the season. You don't want someone kicked out for 2 games and they miss the semi-final because of it.
And I think Adelaide and Perth have, I don't know if you'd really call it a traditional WA-SA rivalry between them. All the players seem to be pretty friendly with each other.
Yeah, they do. There's kind of a mutual respect. I think it's across the league. Most teams don't really go out with any malice in situations like this. They all play hard, but there's never that
just like that, as
injury.
Casey Babineau just unlaid a Perth Thunder player in the corner there.
Yeah. And that's up to the point to Woodman. Woodman chips it back down the boards. And that comes round, picked up by Tobin behind the net. Tobin looking for his options, across to Lodge. And then that centering pass is just short of Lodge's stick. And then Lodge puts it back behind the net. Simon Kudler in to pick that up as it comes in deep there from Woodman. Tobin, he's battling hard there with Gerbert in the corner. And it looks like it's Simon Kudler comes out with it. And obviously the puck sticking to the ice as it does here occasionally. I think that's kept centering pass there from looked like Webster for the Perth Thunder, and then Adelaide come the other way, chipped up to
Mantier, Sammy Mantier on the ice.
There you go. The coach is out on the ice. He's done his shift.
He gets one bit of physical contact and back on the bench he goes.
Yeah, and then Christian Orlett managing to control that for the Thunder as Webster chips that up to Bernard. Bernard coming in with some pace, and Christian Orlett.
And a fantastic save from Pete King, moving across the crease to get the pad out there. Pete King makes the easy saves look hard sometimes, but he makes the hard saves look pretty easy, and that's a pretty hard save.
Yeah,
got him moving crease to post across the crease.
See that on our replay here. I think he's in the full splits, I think, there. As he's,
that's a tough save, because Wallet's got some fast hands when he's in tight.
Yeah,
and it's a good job of Petey to get across and make that save. He's been pretty dialed in so far in this one.
Yeah, Wallet doesn't really take much of a wind-up on them shots and gets a lot on him. That, again, picked up by Bernard behind the net. And he drops that back for Bro. I think that was a centering pass there to Bernard. Meant for Bernard, but ended up winning the Adelaide stick. And then Thunder take it back with Wallet. Coming through just wide of the net there. And Adelaide go to chip that out. Kept in by Daniel Goranson on the point as he's battling. Orlett puts it back behind the net there to Bro. No, to Bernard, sorry. And centering in the front there. And we've got another whistle.
Yeah, so it's a penalty going on here. What happened was there's a play behind the net here. It's a nice centering pass as Christian Wallet was bearing down in the slot there. And whoever, I didn't see who the Adelaide player was, but they had 2 choices. Either let him shoot from in tight or drag him down and take your chances on the power play. So that's what's going to happen right here. Perth going to the power play. It's a tripping call.
And it's on 13.
Yeah, so Cole McMillan had to drag him down there. It's one of the ones as a coach where sometimes you got to look at and say, you know what? Let's take our chances here, because Wallet, you'd probably think 9 times out of 10 he's going to go bar down or someone, yeah.
So Thunder power play unit out here. We've got Tobin, Webster, and I think it's Simon out there for the Thunder with...
Good job of Adelaide to clear this out. They're going to be on a break.
Critchlow on the breakaway. And Woodman, caught by Jamie Woodman for the Thunder. Critchlow goes in for the hit there, and now it's Webster coming the other way. And we've got another
high stick
penalty here, and it looks like it's going to go against Perth Thunder for a high stick. on Macmillan.
On Casey
Is it?
Babineau there,
yeah.
So Critch went in hard on a breakaway here. Great play by Jamie Woodman to break it up. Collision in the corner,
yeah.
and then Woodman was
Woodman
swinging his stick around and got him in the face. That was unintentional. That was clearly not one of the ones where he got it up there. It was just sort of a reckless stick from Jamie Woodman, which every player is going to have at time to time. And unfortunately, Casey Babineau is standing there.
Yeah,
no blood.
No blood, so it looks like it's just a 2, which is evens it out. And we go to some 4-on-4 hockey now.
Yeah, from talking and being around Jamie a little bit, I don't get the sense he's the most malicious guy out there.
No, we've been trying to teach that to Jamie to get a bit of aggro in his game, but he just seems to be the happiest hockey player you'll ever meet. Adelaide, nice chip there by Critchlow in front, just onto the stick of Hazelhurst. Unfortunately, that was a good opportunity there for Critchlow for the Adelaide. And then that's put into the centre here onto Hazelhurst stick. Hazelhurst coming down centres to Olette, and Olette hits the crossbar and out of play. Well, I think that was King's best friend there, that crossbar.
Well,
that was a
Hazelhurst
pass.
set him up perfectly coming down there. He stalled just that 1 second and got Pete King to bite totally, and it was a wide open cage here. So Hazelhurst came down. King was just stalled that 1 second there. He reached out his glove trying to grab it. Wallette got what he wanted off of it, just in the wrong spot.
Just
off the crossbar and out.
Yeah, a little bit too high, but great chance there for the Thunder and a brilliant save by King there for the Adelaide Adrenaline, keeping the score 0-0 with, I think, 5.5 minutes left in this first period.
And still 4-on-4 hockey here. Probably favors Perth.
Yeah, nice big hit there by Ben Barreau. And Adelaide back with it, and it looks like it's... can't quite see the Adelaide number there. Coming up the ice is 13 for Adelaide. McMillan. He puts it round and then picked up by Olette. He's trying to calm that down. It's a bobbling puck. He centre feeds to Hazelhurst. Hazelhurst drives, puts it into the pads, and King comes up again with another save.
That's 2 big saves from Petey now in this game, and that was him moving cross crease again. Perth probably wanted to get that a bit more up there, but Petey got the pad on it, and this is the second game in a row now where Pete's come to play.
He's not giving the boys much to shoot on. You know, he's cutting the angles down well, moving across, and he's making them work for these shots, like giving them tiniest little bit of net to find, and Thunder win that face-off, and that's just put in there by Tobin. And then
wow. That almost slid by. Pete got his skate on it at the last second. So that's what we mean here. Like, you see a play like that, Pete King makes the easy saves look hard on that one. That was just harmlessly slid there. But again, he was cut out the angle. He took away a lot of the net there. He's one of the more aggressive goalies in the game.
And it's hard talking to a couple of goalies in this league because they get so used to them really hard, fast shots that some of the times the slower ones catch them off guard. They can't react that slowly to them.
And that's what
Adelaide
happened.
coming up here. I think Boyle's carrying it over for Adelaide. Babineau, sorry, for Adelaide there, and then that's picked up by Kudler. Rezic giving Kudler a hard time. And then Critchlow bearing down on per Daniel Goranson. He finds Lodge in the middle here. Lodge coming through the centre. Cross-ice pass there to Tobin. Doesn't find him. And then that's centering pass there from per Daniel, just out of the reach of Lyndon Lodge's stick. And then per Daniel all the way back down to the Thunder end and behind the net.
So in 5 seconds, Adelaide will be on a 20-second power play late in the first period.
Looks like Adelaide going to go to the power play in 20 seconds, we just heard. And then that's Kairos puts it all the way down.
So Adelaide now in the power play. They got 10 seconds to go in the power play, but they're still stuck in the Perth zone.
Andrew Cox back-checking here on Oddie streaking down the ice there. Oddie showing his speed. He skates around, he cycles around. And that's up to... back down there, centering pass to Oddie, just can't quite control that, and then putting to the middle. And yeah, you see DeSalvo with his hand up behind his back as Critchlow in front there looking for that tip in and almost got it. Great quality chance there for Cam Critchlow for the Adelaide Adrenaline.
I think that was tipped ever so slightly above DeSalvo's shoulder, and he ended up grabbing it on his back as it was coming down. It was sort of harmless little puck in there, but good job being in front of the net from Critch.
And Adelaide win that draw. And that's Oddie taking the nice shot there from the point. No, sorry, not Oddie.
Huxley, new captain.
New captain. That's what's confusing me. Used to seeing Oddie wearing the C for Adelaide. So Huxley there with the... as Adelaide come back to calm it down. Picked up behind the net there by McNeil. He leaves it to Huxley. Huxley back to Oddie. And Oddie streaking up the ice here. He's got some pace still. Greg Oddie playing. He's played a lot of years in this league. It's a lot of skill. That's just chipped out over the Thunder zone. And then Tomic Sack coming the other way. He's got Sam Wilson on the opposite. Tomic Sack just lets rip that bullet and buries one past Peter King. Very fresh legs there for the Thunder, and Tomic Sack opens the scoring for the Perth Thunder and the first goal of the game.
Yeah, Tomic Sack coming down the left line after a few collisions in front of the bench. There's a diving Adelaide defenseman trying to block it, but he just went short side, right over the blocker of Peter King right there. It was a pinpoint shot, caught King out in the only spot that he could have put it in the net, and he did it. So good for him, and Perth's up 1-0.
Yeah, and that shot of Tomic Sack, he's one of these kids that's come through, and I've been telling him to do that play for years, and he just wants to hold on to it too long. He's got a great shot, and we keep telling him, step over the blue, let the shot go, and just put it at the net. But they don't listen, then they do it, and they score goals, and you kind of go, wow. But great shot by Tomic Sack. So we see what Adelaide have here to answer with. That's one back to Kudla. Kudla chips up to Bernard. Bernard off to Bro. Bro cross ice to his intended target was a late, but that ended up on Woodman's stick. And then back to Ben Bro. He puts it to Orlet. Orlet holding here around in the circle. Back to Ben Bro. Ben Bro centering shot there. And then Adelaide managed to pick that up. As that's chipped forward, and Rezic just offside. As Davey Kudla gets onto that one, he passes up to Christian Orlet. Orlet to Bernard. Bernard centering for Bro. Not many options there for Bro. He puts it down to Kudla. Kudla's shot straight into the Adelaide logo on the chest there of Peter King. He didn't really have to work for that one.
Yeah, he saw that one all the way. 2:20 to go in the opening period here. Perth probably just with this, probably deserves to be a 1-0 game. Perth probably with a slight edge so far, but a pretty good pace from what you'd expect from a meaningless game. Both teams going pretty hard at it, starting to get a little chippy along the boards. That's where one of the goals came from, so I love that. Yeah,
it's turning to be a very good game. Adelaide playing great hockey here, really making Thunder work for it. It's picked up behind the Adelaide net by McNeil. McNeil chips it up to, looks like it's Boyle, back to Critchlow. Critchlow goes to drop, but kind of tied up there by Campbell. Coxie battling hard with Oddie along the boards. And then Bremner picks that up onto the stick of Kairos. Kairos gets over the red, puts it deep, and it was like Al Punler for the Thunders in to get that against McNeil. They're battling down low, picked up by Adelaide. That's Huxley just chips it around the boards. Adelaide onto the stick of, comes up to Critchlow. Critchlow over the blue. He drops for, wow, nice angled shot there from McNeil. Critchlow just over the blue, drops to McNeil. McNeil puts that nice shot in there on DeSalvo for the Thunder, making the save. But I think they were looking for a rebound out in front, or just a fumble of that puck in front of the net there, as they had, I think it was Rezic.
Yeah, it was a good shift from Adelaide, especially after Perth scored not long ago, to sort of get the game back on their terms a little bit and not let Perth build that momentum. So, that's what Adelaide's tended to do, is goals sometimes come in a hurry, so you got to slow it down when you can.
And you got Bernard coming through, but he's just had his pocket picked there. And then Boyle. Here's Boyle for Adelaide coming in, back check. Garanson with that, and then Critchlow comes in, puts Garanson into the boards. Rezic battling there with Hazelhurst. Adelaide managing to keep this in. That's chipped out there. That's just chipped to Rezic. From Rezic to Critchlow, and that's Peter DeSalvo. Almost took that off the stick of Critchlow in front of the net there. But great play there by Adelaide on the boy. It was Gilbert just chipping it into the centre ice. And then picked onto Rezic. Rezic chipped to Critchlow, and Critchlow getting a good quality chance on DeSalvo. Yeah,
Critchlow was in tight there, and he was trying to get DeSalvo go side to side, but it was a nifty little poke check from him as well. I mean, he's an unbelievable goalie, Peter DeSalvo, and that was a good play to take it away from Adelaide's best score.
A false draw there, I think.
Yeah, just over 1 minute to play in the first period. So Adelaide certainly, if they can hold this score at 1-0, there's nothing to be too ashamed of going into it. It's a good effort so far. Perth can add another one here. They'll be feeling really good about themselves going in that room.
Yes. Yeah. And it's David Kudla carrying it out for the Thunder. He chips it in deep, and it was like it's Tobin and Simon in to get that for the Thunder, but it's Adelaide that come out with that. And then that's chipped up the boards. Rezic skating onto that. He's battling hard with Kudla. And looking for a call, but didn't quite get what he wanted there, and it was Critchlow ended up going off the pad there of Kudla hard into the boards. And then Lyndon Lodge getting a shot there off a feed from Simon Kudla at the other end, but King coming up with a great save for Adelaide here.
Yeah,
so like you said, it's 30 seconds left to go, and Adelaide putting on a good game here for the Thunder, making them work for every inch of ice.
Look, Lyndon Lodge, I think, is a totally different player from what Adelaide's seen, at least, than what he's been in the years past. Like, he's a lot more aggressive, a lot more confident out there. It's nice to see from him.
Yeah, he's come on well this season. He's stepping it up. He's putting in the effort. So, yeah, this is the new feature that we've been told we're going to have is some, what do they call it, penalty box cam. So it's unfortunate that we're not live streaming.
Yeah, so Adelaide in the box right now. Cole McMillan in there again, so he's in there for 2 minutes. I didn't see what the call was.
No, I missed that one. I didn't think there was much in it. But
28 seconds is my best guess from looking at this angle left in here. But good opportunity for Perth to go here with a 2-0 lead if they can get a quick draw here.
Now that looks like it's chipped up high and just into the centre, picked up by Bernard. Bernard cross to Hazelhurst. Hazelhurst goes back to Bernard. Bernard with some pace. He puts it on the stick of Garanson. Garanson
15 seconds.
fakes. He's going to look for a shot here. Puts it back round to Bernard. Still on the half wall.
10.
Bernard cross to Bro. Bro centering pass and off the stick of Garanson into the corner.
3 seconds.
Hazelhurst fumbles that one, doesn't quite get enough to take the shot, and that will wind up the first period with a great end-to-end action, but Thunder coming out 1-0 over Adelaide in the first period. But Adelaide playing really good hockey tonight.
Yeah, pretty enjoyable game so far. Both teams going at it pretty well. Is just, again, I mean, I think the import lines and are going to cross each other out. I think they've done that pretty well, and I think, you know, Critchlow has grown up with Jessica Bernard, and he knows how to shut him down and vice versa. So I think they're going to cross each other out in the number of goals they score or the number of goals they stop. It's going to come down to those locals, and it's a clear advantage to Perth right now. Lyndon Lodge has had a couple good opportunities, and that Tomic Sack, great short side shot. That's the difference so far.
Yeah, that 1 goal difference scored by Tomic Sack. So Thunder looking good here, but they've got to step it up and really start playing a bit more finals hockey. You know, but like you said, the imports kind of cancelling each other out, which is good to see. And I think Thunder just got the choice of the locals, I suppose, being the local team. They just got the longer bench. So, well, looks like we're going to go off to a break to have some words for our sponsors while we get the young kids out on the ice, and then we'll be back for the second period.
With well over 50 years' experience, CD Dodge Scrap Metal Recyclers are one of the leading scrap metal companies in Australia. We service everyone from the small private operator to the huge multinational corporation. If it's scrap metal you need to dispose of, we are willing to purchase and collect it from you. With our extensive fleet of vehicles, plants in Perth and Kalgoorlie, and statewide collection, we offer a tailor-made service to suit your requirements. In addition, our capabilities extend to mine site demolition and cleanup and marine salvage. For inquiries regarding scrap metal purchases or industrial recycling, call us now on 93703066 or visit recyclers.com.au.
At Equitum, we believe every person's story is different, that we are all shaped by our experiences, values, challenges, and aspirations. We believe your story is the most important aspect in building a financial strategy and a partnership for life. Whether you're an individual, family, or small business owner, we'll identify what's important to you, then help you build and protect what you've worked for. If you want financial certainty and peace of mind, contact Equitum on 9204 1266 or head to equitum.com.au. Equitum. Protect your finance, control your future.
Are you thinking about buying a car, a boat, or getting a personal loan? Maybe you've just started a new job, are self-employed, or had credit problems in the past and not sure if you can get finance. We'll discuss your situation and independently work with you to get you approved. Before you commit to any loan, talk to our team at Smooth Financial Services on 1300 764 240 or visit our website at smoothfs.com.
Financial broker licence number BN 4310.
With well over 50 years' experience, CD Dodge Scrap Metal Recyclers are one of the leading scrap metal companies in Australia. We service everyone from the small private operator to the huge multinational corporation. If it's scrap metal you need to dispose of, we are willing to purchase and collect it from you. With our extensive fleet of vehicles, plants in Perth and Kalgoorlie, and statewide collection, we offer a tailor-made service to suit your requirements. In addition, our capabilities extend to mine site demolition and cleanup and marine salvage. For inquiries regarding scrap metal purchases or industrial recycling, call us now on 93703066 or visit recyclers.com.au.
At Equitum, we believe every person's story is different, that we are all shaped by our experiences, values, challenges, and aspirations. We believe your story is the most important aspect in building a financial strategy and a partnership for life. Whether you're an individual, family, or small business owner, we'll identify what's important to you, then help you build and protect what you've worked for. If you want financial certainty and peace of mind, contact Equitum on 9204 1266 or head to equitum.com.au. Equitum. Protect your finance, control your future.
Are you thinking about buying a car, a boat, or getting a personal loan? Maybe you've just started a new job, are self-employed, or had credit problems in the past and not sure if you can get finance. We'll discuss your situation and independently work with you to get you approved. Before you commit to any loan, talk to our team at Smooth Financial Services on 1300 764 240 or visit our website at smoothfs.com.
Financial broker license number BN 4310.
Yeah. Oh, and we're back, and yeah, we're just discussing then as the rink announcer calls out 19 shots to 6, which, yeah, I don't really know what everybody was counting there. I thought it was a bit more even than that.
I would have guessed maybe 12-8, 12-7 maybe there, but I mean, it's also possible Adelaide allows about 40 shots per game, which is the most in the league. And one of their biggest problems, you take a look at the save percentage of Matt Murphy and Peter DeSalvo, it's actually, there's only like 3 or 4 percentage points between them.
Yeah.
However, Perth allows 22, 23 shots a game, and Adelaide allows 40, and you're going to score a couple more goals.
You're going to score. As I always said to the boys, you don't shoot, you don't score, so more shots you take, the better chances you have.
And if a good goalie has maybe a 920 save percentage, you shoot 20 times, you're scoring 18, or you're scoring 1 or 2 goals on 20 shots. You get 40, that should be 3 or 4 goals right there. Doesn't matter how good the goalie is, stats say that you're going to score some goals. You're
going to score some goals. Yep. So, what they say, Gretzky always said, you miss 99% of the shots, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that just sort of speaks to the effort of Pete King in that period. I mean, Adelaide in the room weren't too upset with how they played. They thought they could have taken a couple more chances, which might be indicative there of the shot total. They are quite happy with how Petey played in that first period. But what they are worried about is Perth have 4 lines that they can roll out there, and they're going to be outskated.
I was just going to say that. I think they competed really well in the first period. I think it's going to show in the third, because you're looking, I'm just standing up here, I think looking over at the benches, and Perth have got a lot of legs on their bench, and Adelaide's got the short bench. But then again, having the short bench, sometimes the guys pull together and find a way to win.
Wait till the third period tomorrow.
Yeah, the third period tomorrow, I think they're going to be some tired boys on the flight back to Adelaide.
Which does put the importance of this period for Adelaide, and they start off short-handed. They do need to make sure they come up with a goal or 2 in this one, knowing that the third period will be an interesting one regardless.
It will be, yes. So we'll see here what the Thunder, I think they got about a minute and a half left on the power play, and the puck's dropped here in the second period as Critchlow takes Daniel into the boards hard there. I think it was, sorry, not Critchlow, it was Babineau takes...
Babineau will do that to guys.
Yeah, he ran Daniel in there quite hard as that's come round to Hazelhurst on the point. He chips down to Ouellette. Ouellette's looking back to Hazelhurst. Hazelhurst over to Bernard. Bernard down to Bro, back to Bernard. Bernard back to Bro. Bro's looking for some options here. Down low to Christian, but just misses, and then picked up by Hazelhurst. He chips it back around, and Bro just missed that and sails out of the Adelaide zone, and DeSalvo comes out to play that, and picked up by Jessico behind the Thunder net. He goes for a long pass all the way up to Tobin. Tobin comes in there with he takes the slap shot from obviously the face-off dot straight into the chest of Pete King, and then Adelaide managed to clear that out the length of the ice.
I don't think Pete King was expecting that. I think he was expecting him to come in and maybe make a little bit of move. He was in the clear. Instead, he just wound up and shot. Maybe that was the plan there, is to get him unexpected, but it didn't work.
That's Lyndon Lodge just misses that, and it goes for icing. So all the way back down to the Thunder end.
And that's an important face-off there. There's only 15 seconds left in this power play here. So Adelaide, if they could win this draw, you'd think they'd be a pretty good bet to kill this off here. If they could win this draw and get some possession and hold on to it a little bit, get that guy in here. And that would be a good win to start the period for the Adrenaline if they can kill this off.
Coming off a kill for the Adelaide would be great for them. It looks like that's tied up in the face-off circle, then put back to Daniel Goranson behind the Thunder net. And Jessica Bernard picks that up. Bernard just loses that, chipped up into the zone, and Tobin pulling up short. Hazelhurst gets control across to Kudla. Kudla winds up for the shot into the skates of McNeil, and then cross ice feed there into the and that comes straight up over the glass and
into the crowd. A few people into a dodge.
Someone's got a souvenir there, but hopefully that didn't hit anybody.
So it's those little differences right there that you do see in a hockey game that make the big ones. Adelaide, 15 seconds to kill in a penalty. It's a draw that, if you want to kill it off, you've got to win that draw. Perth wins it, and they had enough time to get up there and set something up where they could have had a couple cracks at scoring a goal there. That's a big difference right there between a good team and a team that's at the bottom is making something out of nothing.
Adelaide win this one with Rezic taking that down for the Adrenaline, and then that's onto the stick of Critchlow. Critchlow down low. Can't work out
Rezic down low. Rezic, McMillan, and Critch.
And then nice shot there from Adelaide in front. Critchlow managing to just put that past the past the net wide and then put him behind the net. And Critchlow taking Woodman into the boards, but he just manages to get the feed to Coxie. Coxie puts it up to Kairos. Kairos controls that, takes it in, looking for his options. Well, loses an edge, and Babineau for the Adelaide manages to just chip that out.
So it looks like Adelaide's changed up their lines a little bit here. They have McMillan rolling out there with Rezic and Critchlow.
And Coxie on the breakaway here as he scores. They just got that long feed there from Woodman and manages to deep. Didn't take the wind-up slap shot in close there. He just one quick nifty move around Peking on the replay there.
And they caught him on a change right there. Adelaide was changing it up. It was a good outlet pass from behind the Perth net all the way down to Andrew Cox coming in. They mentioned that in the rooms in the break, saying when we're changing, we at Perth are looking for that long stretch pass, and that's exactly what they did right there. And that's 2 local goals now to none.
To none, yep. It's Andrew Cox putting the Thunder up 2-0 over Adelaide. With a nice feed there from Jamie Woodman behind the Thunder net.
Well, this is really encouraging signs for Perth heading into the finals, that their locals are starting to fire here. I think you can expect a big game all the time from those imports. But if those locals can score some goals, that could be a difference, especially when goals have been at a premium in the finals the last couple of years.
That's it. It's been very low scoring in the finals. As we've got Babineau battling with Kieran Webster behind the net there. And Webster managing to keep that in low. Looks like Sean Tobin coming in for the Thunder to get that down. That's kept in down low. Tobin out in front with it. Just couldn't quite get a handle on it. And then Oddie manages to get that up to
4. Ryan Fall, yeah.
Fall, yep. Sorry, I couldn't quite see his number there. But
yeah, so Ryan Fall, son of Glenn Fall.
Oh, yes,
playing in here. So Ryan Fall coming in there on the wing, and he just sort of chipped one in on goal there. I think that's one of the plays you'd like to see some of those younger players carry the puck a little bit longer instead of getting it at the blue line and chipping it in on goal. Probably had a bit more space than he thought to at least get there. And you were talking about that. That's what you tell your players earlier.
Yeah, they have a bit more time than they think, but I think sometimes they get caught a little bit like deer in headlights. They get out at this level of hockey, and they think they've got to make the play a lot faster than they do. And they get a bit of panic on, but look at that cross-ice pass there from Ben Barreau. Straight onto the stick of Woodman. Sorry, Orlett. And then that's taken off by Critchlow for the Adelaide. Critchlow skating up with it. He turns on some jets here, over into the Thunder zone. He's skating in and just mishandles that. And then Christian Orlett for the Thunder manages to pick that up. That's onto the stick of Ben Barreau. Ben Barreau, he takes the shot, and then King manages to make the save on that one. As per Daniel Goranson comes in with a big hit there. On, I think he's looking for... Is it Gilbert
Morgan
there?
McNeil.
McNeil, yeah. And Hazelhurst with it for the Thunder now. He goes cross ice to Kudla. Kudla centering past onto the stick of Oddie. Oddie evades the check there from Bernard. And then McGuinness. Remy McGuinness coming out, having a good quality shot there on DeSalvo, who forces him to make the save. And then Adelaide just losing that to Bremner. Bremner puts it in deep for Kairos. Kairos centering the pass there, but Pete King shuts the feed on that and picked up behind the Adelaide net by Huxley. Huxley coming in to get that. Bremner into that one. There they chip it up and then put back behind. Kairos battling with Babineau, and I think Babineau comes off with that one for the Adelaide. And Kairos with it for the Thunder here. He puts the shot in, just paddled wide by Peter King there for the Adelaide. Coxie to the point to Kudla. Kudla shot, loose puck in front, and that's put in there by Jono Bremner for the Thunder to put the Thunder up 3-0 over Adelaide Adrenaline. So good control there by the Thunder in the Adelaide zone. One of the local lines for the Thunder.
The local lines are really getting it done for Perth right now, and as he said, it was good control of the puck. That's sort of that shift right there that wears on you defensively.
Yeah.
Not knowing that you can't quite clear the zone, and another team coming at you, and Adelaide really need to respond here because they're down 3-0, and that could be a problem.
Yeah, and the long change for Adelaide there, getting hemmed in your own end, that takes it out of your defenseman a little bit. But so we're going to face off again now.
Especially when you're being double shifted as it is. And
that's chipped up. The goal scorer from the first period, Sack, puts it across to Jeffries, streaking in there, but an offside play. So we'll go back to a face-off just outside the Adelaide blue line.
So 3 goals from 3 different locals. You had one from Jordy, you had one from Cox, and
Sack.
you had one from Sack. That's
Sack
2 different lines and 3 different locals, and that's
Yep.
a promising sign.
I couldn't quite see that last one, whether it was Jonathan Bremner or Jordy Kairos that got that, but
So 2 goals in the first 5 minutes as we're just 5 minutes into the second period.
that's taken in centering pass there for Adelaide, but just out of the reach. And then that's up to Liam Jeffries there on the wing. Jeffries comes down and centering pass takes the nice shot, but no one there for the rebounds, just quietly, but a great save. And then that puck spits out back onto the stick of Jeffries, who just puts that in deep behind the Adelaide net. And Gerbert comes to pick that up for the Adrenaline, and it looks like that's going to be an icing there.
Shouldn't be, Jordy.
No,
we got a player there first.
Yep.
Rezik's there first.
Rezik's there first, so that icing is waved off. Rezik puts that pass up. Oh, nice shot there from Huxley on the point. Sorry, not Huxley. That was
Morgan McNeil. And you know what was good about that was that there was a guy that was sort of screening DeSalvo, and he couldn't really see it. If DeSalvo's seeing the puck, he's going to stop it. I mean, you certainly have to get someone in front of him or get him moving side to side. Otherwise,
that's one of the big things we've been talking out as a club this year as well, is just the level of goaltenders coming into the league is just making it harder and harder for anybody to score goals. So they have to be screened. You can't let these goalies see it. Hazelhurst streaks across. He drops it there, but I don't think he meant to. I think that was taken off by McNeil there for the Adelaide. And then battling in the centre ice, and that's spat back down, and DeSalvo will paddle that out for Hazelhurst behind the Thunder net.
I think one of the better puck handlers in the league as a goalie, Peter DeSalvo.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And then Thunder having a few odd bounces here, not quite getting out of their zone. That's kept in there on the point. Rezik takes the shot, and that's up and out of play off the stick of Woodman, I think, or Garanson, who's out there.
There's a good back check there, at least to keep the play alive. But Adelaide's got to, exactly like you're saying, get something in front of the net for them there, and try to make it hard for DeSalvo in there and sort of grind away. It might take an ugly goal, but they count the same as something that's pretty.
That's what I always say. The garbage goal's still a point on the board. A nice win there from Adelaide, and just put that puck in, get that traffic, crash that net. Just chipping away as we got played there. Played about
6.5 minutes.
6.5 minutes of the period, and Perth Thunder up 3-0 over Adelaide Adrenaline. Nice centering pass there to Rezik, just short of his stick. And then I think that's Kudla manages to pick that up, but he's put hard into the boards by Critchlow. And then Lyndon Lodge makes the feed to Jamie Woodman, and Woodman to Simon Kudla. And another finish
local.
there.
4-0 Perth. It's a real thunderstorm on now with 3 goals in the first 7 minutes here, and they're all from locals. And Adelaide again just caught. They had a defenseman hanging back, and it was a nice pass. Yeah,
great vision by Woodman and Lodge at the centre ice there. Backhand pass to Woodman, and then Woodman just chips it back out to Simon Kudla there. Just great feed.
And that was a good example of a player not trying to do too much with the shot as well too. All you have to do is bank it in. You have the open net. Don't try to do anything silly with it. And that's exactly what happened on the pass across. Was just good. Get the hands on it, and then you go.
Yeah, you see these guys drop to one knee or try and go bar down and all that sort of fancy stuff. It's just got to be in there.
Well, it is raining goals.
Jessica Bernard, he puts it into, Christian Olet. That was a nice feed there from Bernard. These three imports are just insane how they find each other in the ice.
And that was a nice shot as well too. And it's a good job from Petey there to get the blocker up and make that save.
Great save by the goaltender for Adelaide there, Peter King. But, as I was saying to Stan this year, the level of imports across the league has just been outstanding this year. It's just great to see. There's more and more quality players and great characters. Like, the guys are actually really good guys, all of them. And Thunder here, that was a nice centering feed there, but P. King, a big save there for Adelaide. Then we go the other way with Rezik and Oddie. Oddie centering, he shoots, and saved by DeSalvo.
Yeah,
so that was a good rush there by Adelaide.
Yeah, it was. So it was Cole McMillan and Oddie coming down there, and McMillan just sort of looked like he was driving there. He stopped at the half boards, gets it back to Audie, who fired it in on net. Again, though, sort of an easy save for DeSalvo there. There really wasn't much to it. He had a bit of a slight screen sort of in front of him, but nothing too serious.
And that face-off is won by the Perth Thunder. They chip it out, and that's just off the boards, and it's Jonathan Bremner skating down hard there, but just couldn't quite beat Babineau to the puck. And Andrew Cox comes out off the boards with it. His centre passes, just misses everybody in front of the net there and comes up to the high point to Punler. Coxie is battling hard with Critchlow down low. Kairos comes off, puts that in on Pete King, and King just covers that up to say no thanks, as Bremner was on the back door. Coxie was coming through the centre there, and King going, nah, safe from my glove.
Yeah, it was good, and they're controlling the play pretty well every time against the Adelaide zone. They're winning those battles behind the net, getting it out to the point, setting something else up, getting a shot. And, sometimes those rebounds will fall in your right direction. And although they've scored all their goals on nice little breakout passes, it feels like.
Hockey luck, as we say sometimes.
Sometimes you got to have it.
Just picked off in the centre there by Woodman. Woodman chips it out to Kairos. Kairos goes for the centering pass. That's off the skates there of Critchlow. And he gets his pocket picked by Orlett. And Babineau manages to put that back up. Then McNeil comes over onto Critchlow. Shot there, saved by DeSalvo. And he just manages to put it just into the Adelaide zone. And that's Gerbert comes to pick it up for the Adrenaline.
Good quick shot there, though, by Critchlow. He didn't get all he wanted on it, but it was a nice setup.
And then Critchlow takes it down the boards. He manages to skate through two Thunder players. Ends up down looking for a call, but there's nothing there. And picked up behind the Thunder net by Woodman. Then we've got a cross-ice pass to Bernard. Bernard coming through. Jeffries streaks through the crease there, but just not quite ready for it. And then that's put behind the net. Jeffries picks that up. It's Huxley and Jeffries battle behind the Thunder net. Jeffries onto the half wall to Sack. Sack puts it up to Woodman. Woodman across to the Hazelhurst. Hazelhurst shot into the pads of Peter King. That's chipped back out to the half wall. Wilson battling there for the Thunder. Centering pass there as Peter King makes the save off the shot from Atomic Sack. So,
tripping calls coming up. I think it's going to be against the Adrenaline, it looks like.
Yes, 27, so that's Gerbert.
Oh, no, he's gone back.
No, he's just gone back to the players.
No,
bench.
it's going against Perth. So Remy McGuinness had ended up on his face in front of it. It looks like Jeffrey. No, who is
Jeffries,
that?
Yes,
yeah,
Liam
Liam Jeffries dragged Remy McGuinness as he was coming back down. There was a bunch of bodies that were falling on the floor. I don't know if that was so much as just a little bump that Remy went down on, or if it was a little makeup call that for what Adelaide was arguing should have been a call when Critchlow got tangled up. But anyway, you slice it. It's 2 minutes for Adelaide.
The linesman there tying up Critchlow's jersey for him. That's put into King and put across here to Rezic. Rezic's holding on for the Adelaide. He looks for the cross, long pass there to McMillan, but just couldn't quite handle that one. And then that's put in there by the Adelaide, but picked up by Hazelhurst. He's hassled by Critchlow. Looks like Kieran Webster's coming up here for the Perth Thunder. Block shot there from Webster.
Great save,
just
Pete
couldn't
King.
quite handle it. Peter King just sticking the pads out, bobbling puck, and Webster couldn't get anything on that. And then Webster and
Babineau
is in there. Rezic's in there, and Oddie was in there.
So Adelaide's struggling here on the power play. They really can't get much going here. They're sort of already a minute into the penalty, just 1 minute to go, and they just have not really been in the zone at all. And
Oddie comes in. Nice shot there from Oddie. That looked like it was in the right spot, but for Daniel Goranson just chipping that out of the Thunder zone. And then who have we got here? We've got
Babineau just getting Ouellette all over him.
Christian Ouellette, he's relentless, that bloke, when you play against him.
A good chance from Adelaide there. Critchlow had dropped it off to the man short side, and they just couldn't quite pull the trigger, and I think we have another penalty going to Perth.
It looks like it's on Christian. He's stating his case.
So for 24 seconds, Adelaide will have a 5-on-3 advantage. If there's an opportunity to get back in the hockey game, Dave, you think that it would be it right here. If you can score one in the first 24 and then carry that over on the power play.
You'd even think about using your timeout here if you're Adelaide to get the most out of your players.
Yeah,
but,
and Adelaide, though, they haven't scored on their last 10 or 11 power play opportunities heading into this game. So their power play's gone pretty cold right now. They've just used sort of all their top guys out there. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide to go with on this power play.
And that one's won by Ben Bro.
Big draw one.
Big draw, Ben Bro. And he just puts it back up the ice to Woodman. Woodman across to Bernard.
Yeah, and that was a smart play. And now they're with 3 guys on the ice. They're just passing it around in a triangle. It's unbelievable.
Ben Bro, the stick handling of the Thunder forward is phenomenal. He takes the shot there wide on the net, and then Adelaide managed to pick that up through Babineau. Babineau coming up. He puts it on.
First penalty over.
First penalty over, so we're back to 5-on-4. Rezic just holding on for Adelaide. Put into the stick there of Babineau. Babineau shot paddled wide by DeSalvo. Babineau managing to hold on. He puts it back behind the net through the legs of Boyle. And then a centering pass from behind the net, and that comes all the way down back to King. He plays out to, it was onto the
Audie
aim for Audie, but kind of just went up and over the bench and out of play and disappeared.
Yeah,
I didn't quite see where that puck went.
And Adelaide had a good opportunity, but what that was just a huge draw win by Ben Bro, and then they just passed it around for a little bit and controlled the play and just ate up about 20 seconds, and by the time that happened, the 5-on-3 advantage was over. It was just like that.
And that was a shot by Kairos straight off the face-off there. Win back by Coxie onto the stick of Kairos with a quick shot, and I think Peter King just getting a bit of the blocker on that, and it went up and over the glass and out of play.
So Adelaide struggling a bit right now. They've still got a minute exactly left on the power play, so still some time to get a goal on the board and start feeling good about themselves.
And they put that across to Audie. Audie controlling it here for the Adrenaline. He's pressured by Kairos. Audie puts it up to McNeil. McNeil takes it into the Thunder zone. Back onto the point to Critchlow. Critchlow puts it to Huxley. Huxley back to Huxley on the point. Then to Audie. Audie down low to, I think that's Rezic down there, is it? And Critchlow in front. Audie. Huxley, McNeil.
Good puck movement,
It's great movement here by Adelaide. They're just passing around, back to the point to Huxley. Huxley down to Audie. Down low to Critchlow. He gates round and steps out from behind the net. There was Critchlow on that play and forces DeSalvo to make the save. But great movement. Awesome puck movement there on that power play by Adelaide.
Yeah, great puck movement by the Adrenaline, and that's something what they want to do on the power play. On the other side of it, though, is pretty good defensive effort by Perth. I know they didn't have the puck, but at least they were taking away the shooting lanes. Yeah. Anytime it looked like they had something, it was closed up right away, a body in front of it, and Adelaide couldn't get the shot they wanted.
It's just looking at that last little bit of play there from the Adrenaline. They just seemed to calm it down, relax a little bit more, and just slow it down to their pace, and it was working well for them on that. We'll see if Critchlow wins this draw. That's won by the Thunder, I think. No, won by the Adelaide. And Audie just managing to trickle that through the legs of everyone and making DeSalvo make that save.
Audie's had a pretty good game, actually, this period. I know it's 4-0 right now, but Audie has done a pretty good job of being pretty physical. He's been the one sort of commanding it a little bit. He's taken 3 or 4 shots. He had a couple slap shots coming in, strong on the puck. It's been all right from the veteran.
He's been having a good game. And that one's won by Adelaide there on that face-off. Just up to Audie on the point,
over.
And he just puts it down low to Critchlow. Critchlow puts it back round to, I think that was McMillan behind the net. And then onto the point there to McMillan. McMillan to Critchlow. He's hassled by Simon Kudler there. That's up onto the point to Huxley. Then a shot from Audie from the point. Couldn't quite, I think it was from Audie on the opposite side of the point. No, it was from McMillan on the opposite side. Centering pass from the Thunder.
And you know what? That was a hard shot from McMillan that was blocked by the defenseman. But sometimes that's what you need. I know Perth went the other way with it as well. But sometimes if you shoot and you get a guy to take a hard one in front of you, sometimes that guy hesitates the next time he's standing in that situation, and the puck can get by. You know, the shot blocks are great, but, you know, sometimes that wears on you a little bit, and especially in a meaningless game.
Yep, sometimes you don't want to do a second shot block after you've worn the first one. And that's great. Zone outage there by Adelaide. They just managed to control that, and then taken in the neutral by Thunder. Ben Bro puts that in behind the net hard to Bernard. He gets hit there by McNeil. And then Christian Ouellette comes out with it. He puts it down low to Bernard. Bernard, McNeil battling down low there. Bernard, he comes around, puts it back around to a Christian Ouellette. Ouellette onto the point to Per-Daniel. Per-Daniel cross ice to Hazelhurst. Hazelhurst centering pass to Ben Bro. Just couldn't quite handle that. And then Huxley for the Adelaide looked for Boyle, but just couldn't quite get that stick-to-tape pass. And
it's icing, and that hurts because Adelaide's got a line of Ryan Full, Zach Boyle, David Huxley's out there, and Remy McGuinness. And that's all well and good, but they're going up against all the imports right now, and that's a big mismatch.
Yeah, this plays well in Thunder's favour, unfortunately, for Adelaide.
1:28 to go in the second period. 4-0 Perth Thunder lead if you're just joining us right now.
When Adelaide win that, Huxley puts it round there, chipped on the boards and just out of the Adelaide zone. So great job by the Adrenaline there, getting it out. Boyle hard on the forecheck, and then that's taken back in by Perth, and Huxley manages to gobble that up and just chip it out of the zone. And then Hazelhurst picks it up for the Thunder. Put up Hazelhurst to Bernard. Ben Bro just streaking through the crease and trickles over the pad of Peter King to put the Thunder up 5-0 over the Adelaide. Just an unfortunate bounce there. Adelaide making a great out of the zone, and then Ben Bro just streaking through, and King just couldn't quite get that angle on that leg.
And I think that Petey sort of underestimated exactly what he was going to do there. Ben Bro actually didn't really have great control of the puck when he was coming in, but I think Petey expected him to have it, and the puck just sort of trickled into the back of the net, and it's 5-0.
That one's won by Andrew Cox, back to Kudla, and up to Jonathan Bremner, who puts that in deep. Geordie Kairos chips that back to Coxie, but that's picked up by Gilbert for the Adelaide, and Kairos with it. Then onto the feet of Babineau. Babineau manages to take that out, finds the cross-ice pass to
McMillan.
McMillan shoots, and big save there by DeSalvo. And then Critchlow with another shot. As Adelaide come here, Critchlow's with it. He shoots, and off the pads, up onto the point to Babineau. Babineau puts it just wide of the Thunder net into the corner. Kept in by McMillan by Gerbert for the Adelaide. And then taken down low. Woodman's battling in hard there. And Andrew Cox puts that round the boards, off the boards, and can't quite see what happened there. That was an odd bounce off the boards, and then it looks
3 on 1, 4 on 1.
4 on 1, and it was Kudla with the shot. And then Bremner going for the rebounds in front, but we've got a whistle, and that looks like it's the end of the period there. So second period coming to a close with Perth Thunder 5-0 over the Adelaide Adrenaline.
Yeah, 4 goals for Perth. Not Adelaide's best there, but that said, I mean, Peter DeSalvo did have to step up and make a couple big saves at one time. But Perth taking it to the Adrenaline right now.
Yeah, and I think we touched on at the start of the period, I think it's just the legs that Perth Thunder have. They can just, Adelaide running the short bench is just, it's hard. You've got a lot of young kids on the Adelaide team, and they're playing their hearts out. They've certainly taken it to the Thunder and taken some chances, but Thunder just capitalising on what they've been given.
Yep, they certainly are. So, I mean, it'll be an interesting third period to see what Adelaide comes out with. I mean, you certainly don't want them to come out with the tail tucked between their legs. You hope they come out there and try to push it back. You got 20 minutes there. If Perth can score 4 goals in one period, why can't Adelaide score 5? And I think that's sort of what they'll be looking at.
Yep, we'll see. So we'll go to some messages from our sponsors, and we'll be back in time for the third period.
With well over 50 years' experience, CD Dodge Scrap Metal Recyclers are one of the leading scrap metal companies in Australia. We service everyone from the small private operator to the huge multinational corporation. If it's scrap metal you need to dispose of, we are willing to purchase and collect it from you. With our extensive fleet of vehicles, plants in Perth and Kalgoorlie, and statewide collection, we offer a tailor-made service to suit your requirements. In addition, our capabilities extend to mine site demolition and cleanup and marine salvage. For inquiries regarding scrap metal purchases or industrial recycling, call us now on 93703066 or visit recyclers.com.au.
At Equitum, we believe every person's story is different, that we are all shaped by our experiences, values, challenges, and aspirations. We believe your story is the most important aspect in building a financial strategy and a partnership for life. Whether you're an individual, family, or small business owner, we'll identify what's important to you, then help you build and protect what you've worked for. If you want financial certainty and peace of mind, contact Equitum on 9204 1266 or head to equitum.com.au. Equitum. Protect your finance, control your future.
Are you thinking about buying a car, a boat, or getting a personal loan? Maybe you've just started a new job, are self-employed, or had credit problems in the past and not sure if you can get finance. We'll discuss your situation and independently work with you to get you approved. Before you commit to any loan, talk to our team at Smooth Financial Services on 1300 764 240 or visit our website at smoothfs.com.
Financial broker license number BN 4310.
Oh, no. Thunder fans, we're back for the third period now as the teams are just starting to come out onto the ice. Adelaide over on their bench. And if you're just tuning in, Perth Thunder winning 5-0 over Adelaide Adrenaline here tonight. I think they're waiting for the referees and the nets to be put out. It just kind of looks a bit odd out there as the goalie's just sort of laying around on the ice in front of the crease and no goals. I was trying to work out what was missing.
Yeah, and somber mood, as you can probably imagine, in that Adrenaline room in the intermission. There, down 4 goals here. They got 14 shots in that second period, which is a better effort, but and a couple nice saves from DeSalvo. But at the end of the day, they're down 5-0. They're getting caught a lot on changes that are coming through the other way. And there's a couple times they're just caught standing around. You saw that 4-on-1 late that Perth had on there, and you can't, no excuse to have a 4-on-1 at any point in a hockey game. It
is hard, and especially for the Adrenaline having a short bench and a lot of young players in the team that you see out there, and it's hard for them to keep their heads up. But they have been playing well. They've been having really good moments in the game that just really showing what they've got. There's just sustaining that for a longer period of time, which will come with experience for a lot of them younger players.
So I'm sure you've been in rooms and you've been coaching and you've been up 4 or 5 goals after a couple periods and you've been down 4 or 5 goals. It happens either way. What do you say to each team in both situations?
If you're winning, you kind of saying to the boys, just keep your heads in it. You can't get too smart, too cocky. You know, it's 5 goals, yes, but you've managed to put 5 goals up, so there's no reason the other team can't. So you've got to keep your heads about you. You've got to keep playing the way you've been playing.
And if you're down?
If you're down, you kind of go to the boys, just take it one shift at a time. You know, just win your shift, win that small battle, get that chip on the net and just chip away at it. You know, you get one and you try and get the second one. You got to battle it out, win your shift, do your job out there and just battle hard till the end. You can't ever stop.
Well, as we're underway here, I'll tell you one guy who took it hard for the Adrenaline, Cam Critchlow, didn't leave the bench, just sat on the bench looking at disbelief there.
He did. He's been playing outstanding tonight. As they come in, speaking of the Critchlow, the pass comes from Resick to McMillan and then cross ice and out of play. So that face-off looks like it'll be inside the Thunder zone. But Cam Critchlow's been playing outstanding. He's an absolute outstanding player.
And he's played well all year, but it's got to be hard for him. He went from a team where he won 3 out of 4 national championships at University of New Brunswick, was a Memorial Cup contenders and juniors, to a team that's struggling right now, and it's got to be hard for him.
It would be, yes. And that's put down low, and Cam Critchlow on the puck now. He's double teamed there by Bernard and Goranson, and comes out with it, and he puts the chip through the legs there and just comes off the legs of Resick as Resick skates through the slot. And Resick comes out with the puck. He dekes Goranson, but just couldn't quite hold on to it. But Critchlow with it now. And that's taken by Alette for the Thunder. Alette up to Bernard. Bernard over the blue. He's got Hazelhurst skating. And Ben Bro from the top of the circle over the shoulder of Pete King, and he puts the Thunder up 6-0 there.
And Petey got caught a little bit on that one.
And that's Ben Bro's spot. Like he scores a lot of goals from right there. And that's his shooting lane. If you look back at the highlights and Ben's goals, a lot of them come from that exact position on the ice. But you see the Perth imports there just kind of rein it down a bit. They want the crowd to cheer and be happy, but just trying to show a bit of respect there to Adelaide and not over celebrate the goals now.
It's 6-0, and Adelaide really needed that first goal, and it comes in a hurry just over a minute into this period here for Perth, and that's too bad. Adelaide had a good first shift, and Perth goes down right away and scores.
And you see now it's a battle of the locals here as they're coming up there. Jonah Bremner takes it in, and Boyle picks it up there for the Adrenaline behind the net. He's pressured hard by Bremner again. Bremner takes it behind, he puts it to Cox. Cox to Kudla. Kudla shoots, and that's tipped by Kairos, but saved by Pete King for the Adelaide. Kairos with it, he puts a trickler on net, and Bremner just misses that feed that trickles across the ice. And then it's Oddie comes up to the centre. He gets his pocket picked there by Bremner, but Huxley manages to put that into the Thunder zone and keep it deep. And that's Foal keeps it in there for the and then that's just put into the Adelaide zone. And Adelaide coming back the other way here. And then Woodman ends up with that. and that's just out of the reach of Lyndon Lodge, and we'll go for icing. So we'll get the face-off back in the Thunder zone. I think it's going to be to the right of Peter DeSalvo here. A good pressure there from Adelaide in the Thunder end, keeping the puck into the Thunder zone. Young players there for Adelaide, putting a lot of pressure on the Thunder locals and getting the face-off. That's won by Tobin for the Thunder, but Rezik's in there. Woodman picks that up behind the net, and he chips to Lodge. Lodge chips it in deep into the Adelaide zone. And he's back to get that with Babinu and Gerbert there in D for Adelaide. And then that's put out in front and picked up by Simon Kudler for the Thunder, who puts it back in behind the net. And then there's a race to the corner there as Lodge comes out with it. He's hit hard by Critchlow and turns the puck over to Adelaide. Comes up Babineau, back to Critchlow. And Rezic to Critchlow. Critchlow gloves that centering pass there for McMillan, but just out of the reach. And then Lyndon Lodge goes the other way for the Thunder. He passes to Tobin. Sean Tobin over into the Thunder zone, puts the pass back across. And someone for the Thunder laying down there on the ice, complaining, wanting a call, but
yeah, it
no
probably
call.
should have been interference. I think Joey touched the puck, looked at the ref, expecting the call, and it didn't happen.
And then there's Tomic Sack having a go back. No, Robbie Bird has a go back at I think it was
Offside.
Gerbert for the
No. So we're getting it. Yeah, it was an offside call, I think, coming in there. I think they were just a little outside the zone, passing it in. But I think you had a Perth player cross him in the middle of the ice, didn't have the puck, was completely held up, knocked to the ice, and there was no call. They probably got away with that one. I don't know if Perth need a power play when they're up.
I don't think the refs are going to call too much in Perth's favour when you're winning 6-0. So I don't think you can really
complain too much.
But
it was a call.
But it should have been a call. But and Ben Bro for the Thunder puts to Ouellette, and Ouellette just buries it. That was just a tic-tac-toe play there from the Perth Thunder. It was Bernard to Bro to Ouellette, and then into the back of the net. As you look at that there, Bernard drops to Bro, and then straight across to Ouellette, and he just lights the lamp again. Putting the Thunder up 7-0 over Adelaide Adrenaline.
Yeah, and that's rough, and it's a tough call right now. I mean, you've got there's not much to say right now when it's a 7-0 hockey game. Perth are well and truly just putting it to the Adelaide Adrenaline, and it's hard in this situation to find something within yourself to lift a little bit. I think Adelaide's got to dig deep, find somewhere, and get some positive in this game. And Remy McGuinness drives to the net there, and he was knocked off the puck. But yeah, not looking great.
And we've got a call there.
Yeah, they got an interference call.
So I think Adelaide are going to get a power play.
Pity call.
It looks like. Yeah.
A hooking call. I don't know if we'll see the replay at all. I mean, Remy was tied up going to the net.
But I thought it was just a defensive play, really.
Yeah, I thought so too, to be honest. I'm surprised that's a call.
On Woodman as well, so we'll see here. Once we finish watching our penalty box cam. No, they're not going to show us the replay here just yet, but we're going to the face-off to the left of Peter DeSalvo here with Adelaide on the power play. And that's won by Critchlow, back to Rezic. Rezic shoots, saved by Peter DeSalvo. And Babinu skates through the slot to control that loose puck, but Andrew Cox manages to just tap it out. And then Jordy Kairos on the races here. He just puts the puck into the pad of Pete King.
Well, big power play for the Adrenaline. It's been 6 periods since they've scored a goal, so they need to figure something out and get one in the net.
Rezic handling that one. He puts it into the skates of Kairos. Back to the point there to, I think it's McNeil. And then David Kudler with it now for the Thunder. He manages to take that puck. He puts it into the centre ice, but just not quite there. Adelaide didn't clear it, and Jordy Kairos just skates through the middle and scores. Straight over the pad, short-handed goal to Jordy Kairos. Just on a failing clearing attempt there by Adelaide. Just kind of tapped it behind his back and just left it inside.
Glenn Forbes-White is going to come in the game. He's grabbing his glove. He's getting his helmet, and I think Glenn Forbes-White is about to make his AIHL debut.
Oh, great for the young kid.
He's coming out there right now, so he's going to make his debut. It's 8-0. So Glenn is in the game right now. And he's wearing Matt Murphy's jersey. I wonder if his jersey got a bit of blood or a cut or something on it. It happens, but he's wearing another goalie's jersey because, I mean, you know that happens, the blood or something like that, but I'm not too sure what's going on. It looks like Matt Murphy out there.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. But,
5 imports for the Adrenaline. Maybe it's Matt Murphy in disguise in there.
In disguise, yeah. But it's a young kid making his debut in net. It's great to see, young local goaltender. So, and he'll be loving every minute of it.
So Glenn Forbes-White will get his first look here, and Adelaide hasn't helped Petey out too much, but Petey hasn't made it too easy on himself either, in all fairness as well, too.
As that's put into the Adelaide zone. As we've got Huxley in to pick that up. He leaves it for, let's see who that, I think that's Oddie's coming up with the puck now. No, yes, Oddie skating through the Thunder players. As Oddie battles there on the boards with Lodge. That's picked up by Foal. Back down to Oddie. And he hit hard by Punler, but Oddie's still with it. Oddie's looking for his outlet. Onto the point net to Huxley. Back to Oddie. Oddie's still with it. Back to Huxley. Every time Oddie passes to McNeil, he gives it back to Oddie, then McNeil shoots, and that's just put wide by DeSalvo. Oddie keeps that in on the point, and he manages to just leave that for Huxley, I think, coming down the boards there. McNeil, sorry. And he shoots just over the net. Was a Foal's shot, and then that's put back to the point. And down to the half wall to Foal. Back to McNeil. McNeil, he looks cross ice. The shot there, and it's in. Tip in front by Oddie.
It was a Zach Boyle shot, I think. And it was tipped in maybe by Greg Oddie, but Adelaide has won. It's 8-1. When Glenn Forbes-White's in the game, Adelaide's up 1-0. How about that?
Yeah, that nice cross-ice pass there to Boyle. Boyle shot, and then just tipped down. It was, I think it was good. It was under the crossbar.
It was close. I think that's going to go to Greggy. Yeah, I think it's going to be a Greg Oddie goal. It was definitely a tip in, and that's how you're going to score. The refs are talking about whether it was a high stick. Surely they just got to give him one.
It's 8.
It's goal. I mean, it's a goal. It was, looking on the replay here, and here it is right here. It's coming across. Greg got his stick up. That's close.
It's crossbar. It's the same height as the crossbar. I think it's a good goal.
It's close. It's a nice tip either way. Like, that takes some coordination there. I mean, that's an intentful play right there to get that stick up and try to tip it in from it going high.
And it's an 8-0 hockey game at that stage, so I mean...
Perth bench isn't happy. I mean, maybe you're trying to protect the shutout there from Peter DeSalvo, which is always a good stat to have. It's a close call. Yeah, but it's going to go Adelaide's way, and it doesn't really make too much difference in the context of the game. It's 8-1.
I mean, that's... Daniel Goranson just trips over his own feet there as he puts the pass round to Ben Barreau. Ben Barreau chips to Bernard. And that's a cross ice to Ben Barreau, skating onto it hard. And still couldn't quite control that.
And still waiting for Glenn's first shot on net here.
Yeah. As Adelaide seem to have stepped up now. Rezic over the blue. Rezic cross to McMillan. But that's taken off by Olet. Olet puts it up to Bernard. It's out of Bernard's reach and then picked up by Adelaide. Rezic, cross ice to Critchlow. No, sorry, that's not Critchlow. McMillan. There's a great shot there. Critchlow picks up the crumbs, but just wide of the net. And then Bernard for the Thunder comes back the other way. Bernard over the blue. He dekes in, and he loses that. And then that's just chipped out of the play by, I think it was Boyle there.
Is that a scary sight, though, for Glenn Forbes? Potentially the league MVP barreling down on you for possibly your first shot. Still hasn't come yet, though.
No, as Tomic sack comes the other way for the Perth Thunder. He steps over into the Adelaide zone, takes the shot, and there's the first shot of his AIHL career, and he manages to make the save.
Yeah, and you can see that one. It was a little flick in on net right at the letters there, but it's a save you still have to make, and it's one that you certainly do not want to let a rebound out there. So I think it's a good one of those nervy ones you can just get out of the way and move on to the next one and know that, hey, you didn't allow a goal on your first shot in the AHL, and I'm sure that's what most kids are thinking about when they first go in.
Yeah. No, he's playing really, he's stepping it up. So he's given the Adelaide Adrenaline a bit of a life here, you know, and then steps on the ice, they score a goal, and now they're look like they're getting some possession and some pep in their step a little bit here.
And why do you think that is? Why can that happen?
It's just a change. It's like everything in hockey, I suppose. It's like when everybody argues about fighting in hockey, but sometimes you just need something to spark your team. And that's taken by David Kudler for the Thunder into the skates of
Offside.
Boyle,
Offside.
and it goes offside.
Yeah, and you're totally right there too. Maybe it just sort of gives that jolt of energy. I'm sure none of the guys in the room, just being good guys, don't want to ruin Glenn's debut and leave him out to dry. And you know, if it's 8-0 coming in, well, you certainly don't want to have Glenn's first start goes in at 8-0, leaves 11-1. So
yeah,
I'm sure the guys in front of him want to play pretty tight as well too.
Yeah, they're probably stepping up to play for the young fella in goals, which is great. And that's won by Thunder. Kairos attempts to put that in, and then Punler's hit hard by Critchlow, and then that's chipped into the Thunder zone, and Rob Bird misses that, and he's hit hard into the boards by
forward too. Adelaide hitting hard here on this shift.
Yeah, they're really taking some body here. And then it's Robbie Bird for the Thunder. He takes it in, he puts the centering pass, and that's taken by the Adelaide defenseman. I think that's Huxley in that corner, isn't it, over there, far
And they
side.
missed an outlet pass there to Critchlow on the right wing and given away.
And then Geordie Kairos back in to the Adelaide zone, and that's out back into the neutral and controlled by Cox. Rob Bird for the Thunder. He comes on, he puts it deep. And looks like we've got Babineau. He's battling hard with Tobin and leaves it there for the Adelaide to pick up. And that's carried through with Oddie skating through. And centering pass picked up by Hazelhurst. Picked up by Tobin, and then spoiled mid-ice by 14 there for Adelaide.
Yeah, good back check from Remy there. You know, and Remy's trying to still develop as a player as well too. Still young. This is his first season. He's been healthy, and if he can survive the next 11 minutes in this period, he'll be, I think, one of two players that for the Adrenaline will have played every game this year, which is a testament to him being healthy and committed to the team.
That one's won by Thunder, put in deep behind the Adelaide net. And Webster takes a backhanded shot there on the Adelaide goalie, and he puts it back into the corner. Then Tobin comes out with the shot straight on, and another save by the goalie for Adelaide. So
Glenn Forbes-White.
Forbes is having a great game here now. He's stepping up. He's making a few good saves and key moments. And then Lyndon Lodge puts a centering pass through, but no one there for the Thunder. And then that's picked up, and it's coming the other way. But I think it was Hazelhurst puts it in deep. Huxley.
Wow.
That was a dangerous pass back to the net. Huxley puts it around the boards. And then taken off by Thunder again. Adelaide's just wayward passing here out of their zone. And then that's taken into the zone. Critchlow with it. He shoots, saved by DeSalvo. DeSalvo puts it wide onto the stick of Ouellette. Ouellette up to Woodman. Bernard streaking through, and Bernard just couldn't handle that, and that's knocked the net off.
And they put it back on
He
play.
puts it back on while the play's carrying on. And it was Davey Kudler goes in and hits Critchlow as he steps over the blue. And Rezic puts it back behind to McMullen. Rezic looking for his options. Critchlow in front, and Critchlow scores.
So we've got Adelaide 2-0 with Glenn Forbes-White in net.
Yes, and now
And
Adelaide
look at the
has got
celebration from Cam Critchlow.
And Critchlow saluting the crowd, and the Thunder crowd eerily quiet now. So it's Adelaide scoring 2 goals there in this third period. But Thunder still leading 8-2, and I think we're about halfway through this third period now.
Which is why it's sort of frustrating too when you watch here. I mean, Adelaide goes down 5-0, and that's understandable. And again, they're still caught on the same things. They've tightened up a lot defensively. I know they were a bit sloppy out of their zone that last one, but 2 goals in the first 10 minutes puts you on a pace that gets you back in that hockey game. You allow a shorthanded goal and two goals that were sniped from interesting angles, and it's what ifs instead of what is.
That's chipped up to Oddie. Oddie skating down. He's all alone. He shoots, and DeSalvo just kicks that out in the corner, but kept into the Thunder zone there.
Tricky toe save there of him coming in.
That's through the legs there of Babineau, and that puts Tomic Sack down, and he takes the shot wide of the net. And then comes out, foul with it to Boyle. And that's Oddie doing a spinner armour on Tomic Sack, and he just manages. He's still battling there, is Oddie. As, that's just chipped out and picked up again by Adelaide on the back end. That's
McNeil dancing around.
And then he puts it deep into the Thunder zone. As Salvo comes out to play it, he puts it up onto the point. Straight in front. Critchlow shoots and saved by DeSalvo. And Hazelhurst.
Nifty pass from Rezic, kicking it out there in the slot right to Rezic, who came in there.
Yeah, great play by Rezic there on the blue line. And that's Critchlow battling there on the point. And then Geordie Kairos with it for the Thunder. He's coming in. He's looking for his options, and he just misses the pass there to Andrew Cox. And we've got a battle down low in the corner there for Adelaide. And Critchlow manages to find Rezic, I think, centre ice, who took a little bit too long. And then Critchlow into the Thunder zone. He drops off to Rezic. Rezic looking for his options as he battles with Per Daniel. Picked up by Andrew Cox behind the Thunder net. Passes to Hazelhurst, who couldn't control that. And that's down to Critchlow. Critchlow looking for his options. He finds Babineau in front. Babineau deeks, and then DeSalvo just makes that save. That was a bit loose there, but great shot, great coordination there between Critchlow and Babineau, just calling for that puck and just getting that quality shot on DeSalvo.
And a good save by DeSalvo. He kicked it with one pad, kicked it with the other, and the rebound was relatively controlled, but it was controlled enough that he was able to dive right on top of that and take away anything extra. Smart play by DeSalvo as well there, too.
Adelaide just getting a bit of ascendancy here in the game. And then Bembro across to Ouellette, and they're offside. As Bernard going offside and just couldn't quite get back.
I mean, they're winning garbage time right now. I mean, it's Perth isn't rolling out their imports every other shift like they did a bit earlier in the game and getting more out there. I know the locals scored some goals as well too, but it's an interesting combination of things right now. But Adelaide certainly tightened up defensively. There's no doubt about that. Scored the last two.
Scored the last two as they keeping it, trying to tighten the defence up around the young goaltender. There's Adelaide battle behind the net there. It's chipped up the boards to Oddie. Oddie's looking for his outlet. That's up to, I think that's Babineau, isn't it? Yes, Babineau, but that's taken off by Woodman. Woodman puts it deep into the Adelaide zone and then picked up behind the Adelaide net by Gerbert. Gerbert skates up with it, skates through the centre, looking for his options. He puts it off the boards to Boyle, but Boyle's not there anymore. And looks like it's put around. Bembro with it for the Thunder. As Adelaide go for a change. Bembro dancing around. He's got Critchlow on him now. Bembro versus Critchlow. Bro puts it in deep with the backhand. Picked down. And then Critchlow manages to pick the crumbs up there, and Critchlow's off to the races. He's coming in, comes into the Thunder zone, puts it deep. And then Critchlow manages to keep that in.
High stick.
And we've got a high stick.
Yeah, he knocked it down. Just Critchlow, when he was coming down there, was above his shoulders, knocked it down to keep the play alive. Then he touched the puck. So ref's going to touch that up every time. Perth getting a good bit of forward momentum there. They sort of lifted their game a little bit too, and sensing that Adelaide is pushing back a little bit.
One's won by Thunder onto the stick of Punler. Punler puts it up for Lodge. Lodge coming down the half wall. He shoots and saved. Well, a goal there for Adelaide.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad little play there from Glenn. He didn't try to cheat anything right there. He just tried to
took the angle and waited for the shot.
And sometimes that's all you have to do. I think sometimes goalies, and even you see it in Australia a lot, they sort of try to cheat a little bit, and that doesn't do them any favors at all. Because good shooters are going to beat that.
And they pick up on it, the shooters. The real goal scorers just pick up on it, on little... And that's one trickles through. Bit of traffic in front there, and it's a shot by Bembro.
We'll see who gets credit for it. I think it hit a stick in front of the net. A draw was won just to the left of him. It was put back to the point. It was fired on net. It was off Critchlow's stick, then it was off of... It was off of Bernard's stick, I think.
Yeah, I think it hit Bernie and Critchlow. Sort of just went up.
So it's 9-2.
9-2. The CD Dodd Perth Thunder stepping up in their preparation for finals, but Adelaide giving them a game in this final weekend still. So it's good to see a lot of young players out there for Adelaide, and they're getting a good chance in the IIHL tonight, and they're really playing their hearts out. That's Foal with it behind the Adelaide net, and then John Bremner for the Thunder takes the shot back in front as the bit of a scramble picked up by Adelaide. Adelaide up to Critchlow. Critchlow skates into the Thunder zone. He deeks around Campbell. Got Woodman pressuring in. Critchlow manages to keep that, and we've got a penalty here on Thunder. It looks like Adelaide are going to go onto the power play as Campbell for the Perth Thunder is going to the penalty box.
Yeah, it's sort of weird. I think Adelaide actually has the advantage on the power play count this today.
That's not surprising here at the Thunderdome, as we always seem to give the opposition team a lot of power plays.
Yeah, it's interesting. Last year, I don't know what the numbers were this year, but I went through and looked at that from every team last year about what it is called in each barn. We'll have more on that in a second as Adelaide's back on the power play.
Critchlow with it on the half wall here. Back to McMillan down low. Back to Critchlow. Critchlow onto the point. In that Babineau shot. Tip in front by Oddie again. And just over the pad of DeSalvo and in, putting the Adelaide up 3 goals to Thunder's 9.
2 goals from Greg Oddie.
2 goals from Greg Oddie.
Wowee.
So it proves 300 games of experience this season for Greg Oddie. So really showing through in these
Adelaide scored 3 goals this period, and they're still losing the period.
And they're still losing the period.
Sums it up, doesn't it?
Hockey's a funny sport like that, isn't it?
Scored 3 goals and they're losing the period.
Yep.
So 9-3. We're in Adelaide. The draw is back underway, but Adelaide getting back in it thanks to another tip goal from Greg Oddie.
And Kieran Webster just puts that in behind the Adelaide net. That's picked up down low by Simon Kudler. They're battling there with Foal on the boards. Adelaide come out with it through Oddie. Oddie passes across to Babineau. Babineau takes into the Thunder zone, and the puck's turned over just inside the Thunder blue line. Then put back in deep by Boyle for the Adelaide, and picked up behind the net by Robbie Bird. That's put onto the stick of Lyndon Lodge. Lyndon Lodge trickles across to Al Punler. And then that's put in deep there. Kieran Webster with it, drops it to Bird. Bird shot and a save by
Glenn Forbesway.
Glenn Forbesway for the Adelaide.
It's a mouthful.
And then Adelaide coming back the other way as Boyle comes in with the puck. He's stood up by Punler. He's battling hard on the half wall. And then Lyndon Lodge goes for a change.
Almost too many men.
Almost too many men.
Good heads up from the Perth bench, though, just to hold themselves up.
Not actually touch the ice there. And that's put into Daniel Goranson, who puts it onto the stick of Bremner. And then that's back taken by Critchlow. Critchlow comes the other way for Adelaide. Critchlow into the Thunder zone. He drops to Rezic. Rezic's pass taken off by Bremner. Bremner's back the other way for the Thunder as he skates in over the blue. Bremner's looking for his ops. Cross to Kairos, and Kairos is shot just wide. And then centering pass to Andrew Cox, who buries one home for the Perth Thunder, putting the Thunder up 10-3 over Adelaide Adrenaline.
It's a football score right now. 10-3.
It is 10-3.
Bremner went wide along the wing. He centered. It was a tip pass in the corner, and it was just a nice centering play to get back in front of the net. Adelaide defense was sprayed out in the corner. It was Joey Rezic trying to come back to mark the man. And I think it was Andrew Cox that knocked that in.
Yeah, Andrew Cox put that one away, but...
So they knocked that in front of the net, just sort of left out to dry in front of the net. Yeah. He had an open shot and he banged it in.
And you just see the slight inexperience in the goaltender there, kind of watching the play, standing a little bit up, paddle not on the ice.
Yeah, didn't take the play to him, and he just let it.
He let it come through, but he'll learn from that, which is great.
So it's a 10-3 hockey game. 5 goals for Perth in this period. So it's not the finest defensive effort in Adelaide Adrenaline history.
And Davey Kudler just fumbles that one inside the Thunder zone. As McMillan got it for the Adelaide, he puts it down low to Critchlow. Critchlow to Oddie, and then taken off by Campbell. And Bernard with it for the Thunder. Bernard puts it up to Olet. Olet coming through the centre. Olet shoots to Bernard and went for the third pass there, but Ben Barreau just a little bit wide of the net. Bembro just skates through. He's still got the puck on his stick here as he's dangling all around the Adelaide forwards. Down low, Christian Olet to Bembro. Bembro chips that into Bernard, but Bernard couldn't quite get a handle on it as he comes back around. Christian Olet with it. He cross-ice pass, backhand to Bernard. Diving save there from, I think it was Babineau from the Adelaide. And then up to the point to Campbell. Campbell shot.
Good save.
And Forbes White makes the save on that nice one with a bit of traffic in front.
Yeah, and he stayed with that one that time. A bit more aggressive out of the crease there, makes a save. 3 minutes to go in the period here. It's 10-3. It's not going to be one of the most favorite ones in Adelaide adrenaline history. But I tell you what, my phone keeps blowing up from messages from fans, and I know the adrenaline junkies are all together watching the game, the fan group there. So I know it's been a tough year to all the adrenaline fans out there. It's another last place finish. It's a 10-3 game. It doesn't look pretty, but we're working it out right now, and your support and sticking by us is exactly what we need right now. And you'll remember this moment when we're in the finals next year.
That's it. That's it. You can only play year by year. And from what we're seeing out there tonight, the Adelaide playing a few of their young players, and it's great to see they've got some good raw talent out there tonight. So good off-season from a few of these young players, and they'll come back better and stronger next season. And it's just great to see the amount of young locals in the league now is just phenomenal.
It is, and it's good for Adelaide too. I mean, they've been selling out their games almost every game out there. The crowd's still coming out to support these young kids. And now I know it's going to be an interesting off-season. I know today Sammy was going over the off-season plan about when you're starting the off-ice training, how they're doing the open tryouts, what guys are on the team, what guys he wants to work harder. So at least I think there's a bit of direction coming there, and it'll be interesting to see in year 2 of Coach Sammy next year what happens.
That's it. And that's taken into the Adelaide zone by Rob Bird, and then play broken up by Babineau for the Adelaide and chipped into the neutral zone. And Andrew Cox puts to Tobin. Tobin skates into the Adelaide zone. He backhands to Kairos, and big save by Forbes White there.
Huge
on that
save.
Cross-ice pass from Tobin to Kairos. He just got the pad on that, and he'd be happy with that one.
Kairos was in all alone in the slot there, and I think he had it on his backhand. I don't know if we'll see a replay for our own sake, but it looked like he had it on the backhand, just tried to go it up there, and Glenn just grabbed it down a little bit, and that's a little check mark box there.
Go.
So, yeah, it was chipped into the zone. Again, Adelaide just sort of caught coming back there. It was Tobin that went long, and then it was a guy that crashed to the net. Probably should have never got between those two defensemen, but he did. He got the stick on it, and Glenn bailed him out with a nice save.
Rezic cross to Critchlow. Critchlow shot into the pads of DeSalvo. Bounced up for the rebound, but Peter manages to cover that. A great shot there by Cam Critchlow for the Adelaide Adrenaline.
And Adelaide's starting to shoot the puck a little bit more. They had 14 shots in the second, and we were talking about that in the first period.
We did, yes.
Statistically speaking, I don't care who's in net. I mean, DeSalvo's got, what, a 930 save percentage? Get 40 shots on him then. Just
put everything, get the net. So sometimes it's good. I just say to the boys, when I was coach, just put everything, get the net. Everything there. There's going to be a rebound. There's going to be a trickle. There's going to be a stumble.
Something's going to happen, but look, you're going to have to allow less than 10 goals if you want to win a hockey game.
You are, yes. And I was going to say, it looked offside from up here, but I didn't want to call it. But it was a bit of a delayed whistle there by the linesman on the offside. But it probably definitely worth a call. It was offside. But
so I'm curious, Dave, from your perspective too. I know that you've been around the Perth program from a while, and it was a program that came into the league with a lot of young players as well, not a lot of AIHL experience. So how do you go from building that team with no experience to a team that's now a perennial finals contender?
It's a lot of consistency, and over the years we've had a lot of buy-in from our imports to help our locals, and even as a coach, we coach and we're volunteers, but you get all these players like Ben Bro's an NHL draft pick, and guys have played professional hockey their whole life, so they're a wealth of information. They've been coached by professional coaches their entire life, and it's just something that you have to learn to grow from. And John Bremner just cross-ice pass from Bembro and puts one past Forbes White
so
to the Adelaide. So it's an 11-3 hockey game. So it's
11-3.
It's ending hard for the Adelaide, but they come over here with a short bench, a lot of young players, and they're going to learn from it. That's all you can do is learn from everything that happens in a season and take it into next year.
It's an ugly scoreline with a minute 20 to go.
The biggest thing with Thunder was systems, was getting the young players to play system hockey, because they don't understand it yet. And we had it as probably you guys do with Adelaide. A lot of young players coming through are the best of the best all the way through their hockey career. And then they get to this level, and you're not.
And I think one of the issues is, too, is, you take a look at the Adelaide roster, you got a lot of guys who are still good players, and they're still very useful players, but they're veteran players, and their best days, their prime, are behind them. As Perth takes a draw right away, drives the net, and Glenn Ford smothers that one. It's a nice save.
That was a great save.
But yeah, Adelaide, you've got a lot of guys that their best days are behind them, and they'll admit that too. Greg Audie's not going to say he was in his prime of his career, but he's still a useful player and still's got 23, 24 points this year. Then you got guys like your Remys, your Marcells, your Jakes, whose best days are ahead of them. And you don't have a lot of players right now that are that 23 to 27-year-old in their prime, other than Wahib Darj, who has We'll leave that one for another day, but let's just say I think people know that story.
Yep, as Zach Boyle for the Adelaide comes in. That's put across the net and just short of Audie's stick there as Coxie comes through, and then that's picked off by Babanu as he takes it for the Adelaide behind and puts it long, and I think he was looking for Audie on the breakaway there, but Audie was not the pass, I think, just come off the glove of a player and not quite onto his stick.
And
there's
30
about 30
seconds
to go here as Al Punla picks it up for the Perth Thunder. Critchlow's putting some pressure on him. That's up to Kudla. Kudla up to Wilson. It's taken off, picked up by Critchlow. Critchlow to Rezic. Rezic skates through, shot just over the net of Peter DeSalvo. And then onto the stick of Wilson. And then Critchlow picks it up. Critchlow to McMillan.
Off the crossbar.
McMillan's off the crossbar. You can see him looking at the clock, just shaking his head. It's the story of their night, I suppose, isn't it? Just crossbars. And then Tomic Sack takes the last shot on Forbes White, who came into the game late and had a great, outstanding AHL debut. But Perth Thunder take that one 11-3 over the Adelaide Adrenaline.
Now, in case we might stop talking to the fans at home if our audio gets cut over the loudspeaker here, so we'll listen closely to that. But Dave, what do you think for tomorrow's game? Moving on to that one, do we see a different goalie for Perth, knowing that it's maybe a chance for a kid like we saw Glenn Forbes White out there today, or no?
I don't know. I suppose that will be up to the coach's decision. I think Peter wants to get as much ice time as he can in the lead up to finals. I know you sort of sit back and you sort of go, yeah, we've made it, we've clenched, but it's still a week away, and
it's important to win the championship.
There's no better preparation than playing a game. It's the best training you can get. So I suppose it'll come down to the coaches and Peter DeSalvo's decision as well, whether he wants to be there.
Yeah, and you're right, winning that finals game has to be the priority here for Perth. It'll be interesting, too. I know they're going to be playing the CBR Brave in that one, and I can tell you what, and I think I'm going to speak for all the Adelaide fans here, they'll all be back in the Perth Thunder. That is the last team that Adelaide, I believe, would want to see win that championship.
Yeah, it's not the best matchup having the Brave, but I suppose you just got to face who you put with, and I think I'd rather face the Brave in the semi than the ice, but...
Well, DeSalvo's going to need to have a heck of a game in that one. You know that the Brave are going to come at you pretty hard. They've got shooters, they've got scorers, but Perth, a very structured defensive team in front of them, and they don't really give up too much.
No,
so you play that structured game, you get some of those locals to score like we saw tonight, and Perth could be okay in that game.
Yeah, it could be, and that's something that I think Adelaide will grow on as well, is with Perth over the years that I took over from Stan. We started with a defensive structure, and we built from our defensive structure to our offensive, just so the players knew to play defense before they played anything else, and that's
now
what
they're
helps
putting
them.
up 11,
and now they're putting up 11 goals, and you've got to grow from somewhere, and Adelaide have got a good young group coming through, so it'll be good to see Adelaide next year.
And as you look at highlights here, I think it's probably almost time for us to say goodbye, Dave. But thanks so much for having me on.
No, it was great having you.
I hope we can have some fun tomorrow.
Yeah, it was great fun having you up here, and we'll see you back tomorrow, hopefully with a different scoreline.
Hopefully for the
still
adrenaline.
In Perth Thunder's way, but
and thanks for the hospitality, but 11-3 the final score. Not much of a game in the end of it, but hopefully we see something a bit more competitive tomorrow.
Yeah, so tune in tomorrow at the same time as your CD Perth Thunder take on the Adelaide Adrenaline in Game 2 of the weekend here at the Thunderdome. Thanks for coming up here, Eric, and we'll catch all of you fans tomorrow night.
well over 50 years' experience, CD Dodge Scrap Metal Recyclers are one of the leading scrap metal companies in Australia. We service everyone from the small private operator to the huge multinational corporation. If it's scrap metal you need to dispose of, we are willing to purchase and collect it from you. With our extensive fleet of vehicles, plants in Perth and Kalgoorlie, and statewide collection, we offer a tailor-made service to suit your requirements. In addition, our capabilities extend to mine site demolition and cleanup and marine salvage. For inquiries regarding scrap metal purchases or industrial recycling, call us now on 93703066 or visit recyclers.com.au.
At Equitum, we believe every person's story is different, that we are all shaped by our experiences, values, challenges, and aspirations. We believe your story is the most important aspect in building a financial strategy and a partnership for life. Whether you're an individual, family, or small business owner, we'll identify what's important to you, then help you build and protect what you've worked for. If you want financial certainty and peace of mind, contact Equitum on 9204 1266 or head to equitum.com.au. Equitum. Protect your finance, control your future.
Are you thinking about buying a car, a boat, or getting a personal loan? Maybe you've just started a new job, are self-employed, or had credit problems in the past and not sure if you can get finance. We'll discuss your situation and independently work with you to get you approved. Before you commit to any loan, talk to our team at Smooth Financial Services on 1300 764 240 or visit our website at smoothfs.com.
Financial broker license number BN4310.